Good morning, gamers. I decided I would stream today. Maybe not for like crazy long time, but I have time. I got time in my day to deplete some keys. I love depleting keys. Oh man, I'm done M plus. Well, that's not true. I've done some M plus. Um, not successfully. I think I haven't streamed M plus in a while. I haven't streamed anything in a while, to be honest. But I haven't streamed M plus in a while. I think all I've really done is I got 16s overall and then 117, but I haven't really been playing much at the moment. Uh kind of need to boost these keys up. These aren't quite good enough. I need me some 18s, maybe a 19, but 17s is probably the probably the best start. The thing I'm finding the most at the moment is that I just don't get fucking invited to anything anymore. It's horrendous. Um, I thought item level would like carry me a little bit. People don't give a fuck. They see me in the queue and they're like, absolutely not. Yeah, absolutely not. My mic's overtuned. Is it saved? Are we saved? I haven't changed anything. Oh, panic mode. I hate mic issues. People don't care about... No, they don't care about item level. You are right. They care about group comp. Group comp is everything. And score. I'd say score is more important than anything. I'd say, like, score's the main thing. Well, no. Classes, I'd say... It's probably a tie between classes and, score, right? Because if you're the right class, they're then going to look at score. So maybe class first, because they're looking for a comp in their mind. They'll have a comp they want. Just like if you make a keystone, right? You have a rough comp in your mind that you'd like to invite. Like, you're not inviting this spec, but you're probably going to invite that one. And then you look at score. And then probably item level is the last thing you look at. But I thought it would help. Was your problem? Oh, good, thank God. Like, my mic issues are my biggest nightmare. I actually hate it. Oh, man. Only time I had auto invites for anything above a 20 was way back in Shadowlands. Wasn't that when Windwalker was busted? Wasn't that when, like, Windwalker was just absolutely broken? So I am not surprised. So we have the 117. I managed to get this streets done, so that was kind of cool. I'd say streets is actually one of the easier keys, funnily enough. Ever since they've made the changes to the timers and stuff, it's actually quite easy to get in time. Like, it was the tightest dungeon at the start, right, to actually time because of all the RP and stuff, but because you can, like, essentially skip all the RP by having players run off, I mean, it's degenerate, and you shouldn't have to start RP, like, before you pull certain packs and stuff, but you actually have quite a lot of time to still do this key. I think, for some reason, I personally don't think Priory's hard, but I feel like it's just... This is such a demonic key for some reason. Like, trying to get this Priory 16 was the last one I had in the, like, of the 8. And trying to get this 16 took so many attempts, because it just didn't happen. And honestly, I don't think it's actually, like, it's a tougher dungeon, but I don't think it's actually as bad as it's made out. Like, I'd say almost all the depletions for this key come from that final room. Like, something just happens in that final room. I don't know. I think it has something to do with the roaming pack, you know, the pack that roams around. And, like, if you're in a mid-pull of something and that pack somehow walks into it, it's just over. Hey, is it hard to play this season without raiding, without trinkets and boots? I wouldn't say it's hard. I'd say boots, like, boots do add a lot of damage. Gotta be real about that. I'm pretty sure, like, in single target, just the 30% increased Rescue Wraps gave me 50,000 damage at, like, one point when I first... Because I remember simming it when I first got the 30% ones, and it was a 50k damage increase just from the passive alone. So I wouldn't understate how powerful the boots are, but it's definitely still possible to, like, play. in terms of trinkets, you can get a. See, the issue is, I'm not gonna lie, the trinkets are the best from the raid as well. It does kind of suck in this way. That's not that there aren't good trinkets from M+, it's just they're weaker versions of the good trinkets. Like, the best passive trinket is Astral Antenna, right? Which gives you crit, but in M+, you can get the Pacemaker, which gives you crit as well. It's just a weaker version of the Astral Antenna, right? You get more value from a maxed antenna than a maxed Pacemaker, but it's still a viable trinket. And then active trinket-wise, I guess you're looking for Lily of the Eternal Weave if you're playing Conduit. And probably Signet of the Priory, I guess, if you're playing Shadowpan. It depends, though. You might be better off running Lily if you're playing 1 minute 30 Shadowpan, though. But then probably it's likely better to play Signet if you're running 2 minute Shadowpan. It really depends. But there are viable trinkets and stuff that you can get from M+. It's just, unfortunately, yes, the trinkets are just raid. Like, they are just better from the raid, this tier. But you still be able to play. You still be able to do good damage. Like, we're not talking like massive damage increases here, right? Like, as long as you have like a good active, which there are from M+, and a good passive, which there are decent ones from M+, you still do damage and stuff. It's just you won't be able to do as much as someone that would have like the boots per se, because like the 50% increased frequency is actually it's a lot. The cape does a lot of damage. So having it 50% more procs on it is kind of good. Want to push some 15s or more, but don't want to raid? Oh, you'll be absolutely fine pushing 15s without the boots or without the optimal trinkets and stuff like that. You'll be fine, honestly. What's the power gain for 4-piece Shadowpan? It's hard to say. I'm like off the top of my head, I'm pretty sure from having 0 set, it was something like. Oh, I should know this. I wrote the video for it. 19? 19 sounds low. I think something like 19% maybe. Was roughly what the 4-piece gave. The power from having like 0 set to full set from the Shadowpan 4 set. And it makes sense, right? Because the 4 set allows you to actually send out a ton of Flurry Strikes. I'm sure the power gain is actually probably more than that, to be honest. Because the difference between playing without it and not playing without it is astronomical on how much damage you'll do. Because all your damage, well, a huge portion of your damage from Shadowpan comes from Shadow Flurry Strikes. And without the 4 set, you're essentially guessing barely any of those out. So maybe something like 19%, which is quite a lot. I hit like a wet noodle right now. Yeah, if you don't have 2 set, I mean, even the 2 sets are quite weak. Like the 2 set for Shadowpan, for instance, is just that Flurry Strikes deal a bit more damage, but that's just the baseline Flurry Strikes, which barely deals any damage anyway. And then activating Storm Earth and Fire instantly gives you 10 stacks of Flurry Strikes, so you'll disperse 1 charge of Flurry Strikes extra. But that's just so weak on its own that it's not actually that valuable at all. The power all comes from the fact that with the 4 set, you send out Flurry Strikes every 120 energy spent instead of 240. So you're essentially sending out double the amount of Flurry Strikes, having to use half the amount of energy to expend them. So that's where the power lies. So, like, you will feel a big difference once you actually get the 4 set. Do I know something about heals? Is boots necessary for heals, or heals can play well without it? I'm not sure, but generally speaking, healers tend to be, like, if we talk about it in terms of raiding, right? When it comes to, like, getting gear and stuff, you always give gear to the DPS and stuff, and healers are just able to keep up with it and stuff, because you need the DPS. So I'd say that the boots are probably not as impactful on healers as are on the DPS, but I could be wrong. I feel like healers are probably less reliant. Like, you'll still be able to heal more than you DPS, if that makes sense. Hey, thank you, Meat Shield FTFT, for the subscription. Appreciate it. I hate raiding. I'm the opposite. I love raiding. I love raiding. Alright, we're going to see if we can find a key first. I have a 17 streets, unfortunately. I low rolled, and I got the only 17 that I've actually timed. I will do my key if it comes to it, but ideally I'd like to try, you know, another one. but we have to get lucky on people actually accepting me into a group. This is always the tough part. 17 looking for a DK. Shit. The only benefit, or the better thing compared to last season, is there's a lot more comps that Windwalker fits into, or is like more likely to get picked up into, because Prot Warrior is... Because Prot Warrior is, like, the physical comps are basically more prominent now. I mean, they were quite prominent at the end of Season 2, but it was mostly like Boomies, Mages, Vengeance Demon Hunters, right? And we didn't fit into that comp at all. So that's the only, like, at least positive thing. It's still not great, though. Let me in. Please. Alright, we'll see if any of those bites. Okay, someone bit. It's just that easy. Just get invited. This always happens. I'll literally complain that I don't get invited to groups, and then the first one I sign up for I get invited to, and then you must all think that I just get invited to groups all the time, but you gotta trust me. Like, I genuinely don't. It is just... It's not real.
Where are we going today, Grandmaster?
Hey, Naste. How you doing? Healers have the same argument for boots as DPS players. It just adds numbers, but you don't care about it all that much, as far as I know. Yeah, I think that's valid. I'd say likely, like, the least probably impactful is probably a tank, right? But it's like any piece of gear, right? Like, you can play without it. You just do more of healing or damage or whatever if you have the, you know, the better piece in that slot. So the question is double on use trinket. So this has been something I've been dabbling with for a while. I'm a massive fan of actually running double on use for Shadowpan at the moment, which sounds weird. But realistically, right, the entire power of Shadowpan's kit comes from Storm, Earth, and Fire, and your 1 minute 30 cooldowns. So having something to amplify that damage for every window kind of makes sense, right? And Nether Prism's good, because it can do that, but it's always the weakened version of Nether Prism. Like, it's always like 9 stacks or 8 stacks or something like that. However, dabbling with a Raz and Nether Prism... Oh, they're in Tazavesh, are they? No, this is Ecodome, right? Yeah, it's Ecodome. So, I mean, dabbling with this idea of popping a Raz on, like, your initial pull, so you do tons of damage, and then Nether Prism, then a Raz, then Nether Prism, and that actually allows your Nether Prism to stack up to, you know, pretty much 18, because it takes about 3 minutes of combat to get 18 stacks of Nether Prism. Well, your cooldowns are 1 minute 30, 1 minute 30 times 2, 3 minutes. So more or less, obviously you have to take into account some downtime in between pulls, but more or less you'll be about 18 stacks. So that means every time you pop Zuin, you have this massive either a Raz Ritual Forge proc or Nether Prism. It sometimes works better than others. Like, you'll see some issues with it. I think the biggest issue sometimes is holding. Like, because sometimes you'll get your cooldowns back up, and then you'll be finishing off a pack or a boss or something, and it's like it's not worth sending there, and then suddenly you're actually easing into your Raz Ritual Forge time. You overstack the Nether Prism a little bit. So I'm still trying to work out the kinks there. But I'm a big fan of running double active at the moment. What would it take to make Windwalker more desirable? Target cap removed? Honest to God, this game is completely dictated by how well you do in content, right? To make Windwalker more desirable, it has to be good in M+. If Windwalker is good in M+, the flavor of the month rerollers will all hop on, and it will be a popular spec. I mean, it's the same with anything, right? Boomkin is a great example of this. It was amazing last tier. You saw them in every single M+ group. They are doggy doo-doo this tier. Have you seen one that often? Pretty much no one's playing it. It exists sometimes, but it's like nowhere near to the extent, right? Like, at the end of the day, desirability comes down to how do you do in this content, right? It's similar to like, I guess, warriors as well. I suppose there were still quite a lot of warriors around, but last tier you barely saw them. Now because Warrior got this buff in AoE, they're here, they're everywhere. They're actually get invited to groups. We're running double Warrior, you know. I think that's literally when it comes down to desirability. How do you do in different content? Class fantasy maybe plays into it a bit, and people just don't enjoy the monk class fantasy, which is fair. You have a talent calculator for Alpha now, and they removed Flurry of Zoon. Oh, have they? Oh, that's good, because I yapped for about 10 minutes yesterday about Flurry of Zoon being in that bottom node and being like, why is this here? This makes absolutely no sense. Let's see if I can find it. I am still trying to get into the alpha. As you can see in the bottom right hand of my screen, I have an open ticket. The average wait time is 4 days and 26 minutes. I'm sure they get around to replying to me at some point. It's going well. Dear John Blizzard, may I have one alpha, please? Taking like 10 years for everyone to get to this dungeon. This is the Devourer talent tree. I'm on the wrong thing here. I'm still trying to find it. I'll have a look after this dungeon. I hope you get into alpha. I think one Windwalker that I know of is an alpha. I'm not sure if they stream or not. I think they do stream. At the moment, they're just like the theory crafters have like a million questions, right, about how everything works and stuff. So at the moment, they're just basically testing a ton of stuff.
Where are we going?
So at least information's being passed on to like theory crafters and stuff for ideas and whatnot.
With our defenses down, there is
Good luck,
Uh oh. Almost got one shot. Always good. Feral Druid kind of slaps. Holy shit. Feral Druid going hard. I'm kind of terrified. I used all my defenses already. Bro, I literally pressed one button. I got aggro. Bro! I had... Huh? I hit one target with a Fist of Fury and I'm suddenly... suddenly targeted. Please? I'd ideally not die like now. So I've got another prism stacked. I'm gonna send it out now, because as I said, I want to keep the rotation flowing when running double actives. Ooh, I feel a little bit rusty. I should have, yeah, I messed up an AOO there. Heal her down! Yeah, potentially, if I wasn't running double active, I probably would have saved the cooldowns for the boss there, but I'm trying to basically send cooldowns on cooldown, because it means that the actives keep rolling. That's kind of the idea. Feral's wreck? That's good to know, because I've got an alt Feral at the moment that I'm making. I also have been dabbling in Boomkin. And I'll tell you what, why does Boomkin have like 0 buttons? Like, it has like 3 buttons in its rotation. Is that like... This boss has so much health. We are... definitely gonna get another set of, what am I even saying right now? Oh! That was bad. That was bad. We're definitely gonna get another set of cooldowns on this boss. It's going to... it'll overlap with the actual intermission, which isn't great. But I'm gonna have to send it anyway. We can hold for a second here. I will just send it on the intermission. Alright, so far so good. I won't have Zune for the next pack, but I'll just have a Storm Earth and Fire, so that's fine. The idea is basically to try to have a Storm Earth and Fire up for every single pack, so that's where all the damage comes from. Like, Zuin's good, it just amplifies it, but all I mostly care about is having Storm Earth and Fire up for as many packs as possible. Let him get aggro, because I have been targeted enough times this dungeon to warrant this. Sentinel's kind of got a lot of health. Ow. I hate random damage. Ow. I hate targeted damage. Well, that's one Sentinel down. Only 2 more to go. Right, the next pack will be Nether Prism. So the Nether Prism, basically, the Nether Prism burst windows are stronger. Do I spin a Crane Kick here? Sure.
They have brought so many. They seek the complete annihilation of this place.
Arcane slash.
Brother! Huh? What the fuck was that? Bro was locked onto me. My tank was like, right, you... You're going in this. That Sentinel went down a lot faster. I guess we had more cooldowns there. Which means we're going to have, like, no cooldowns for the next pack, but it's fine. I do have a Storm, Earth, and Fire, so I'm not too worried. Good Vortex. So this is one of those situations where I'm going to hold Zuin, so it feels a little bit bad because I'm delaying things, but there's no point sending here because everything's almost dead. Hey, just want to thank you for the boss guides. Oh, no worries, my dude. I released the Fractilus one today. It's a very... it's kind of hard to make a boss guide on Fractilus because there's barely anything to say. Essentially, it's just defensive timers. I should have tried to look at that Farstalker. I missed the Crackling Chain on it. Not the end of the world, just a bit less damage. Oh my god! How, oh my, it's a sleeping ad. I was like, how did he not pull that? It's because it's asleep. I was so lucky. Oh, I wish I had cooldowns for this. This feels bad, man. Okay. A guy in the back needs to be interrupted by someone. Ah, leg sweep didn't reach. GG. Oh, I did 31 million damage. I didn't even notice. Okay. That's what I mean by the, like, the nether prism. Ow. Okay. Probably don't get hit by multiple of these. Oh, I'm an idiot. Health pot angle? Oh, it's fucking, yeah. Definitely a health pot angle. I shouldn't have popped Storm Earth and Fire there. That was actually a bit of a misplay, which means I'm going to have to send Zuin out on its own, which is something you should never do. But I just monkey brained it. I saw double boss damage. So sending out Zuin with nothing. Feels good, man. Such a waste. We're on Loom at the moment, so long way to go, but the Soulbinder guide was useful. Yeah, Soulbinder is probably like our best fight on paper, but if you actually look at it, it's a funny one. If you actually look at it on paper, we do like no boss damage. All our damage just comes from every ad set. It's why, even though Crackling, well, not Crackling Jade Lightning, but even though Last Empress Capacitor is going, like we're losing Last Empress Capacitor, I don't think it's a bad thing, because it means that they're trying to put more damage back into our actual, you know, our actual damaging abilities that do damage to the boss, and do damages to things that aren't just ad cleave, alright? So though I really enjoy the electric build, I really enjoy lightning. Like, I love lightning. But it's inherently, I think it's inherently negative for our gameplay and makes us appear to do more damage than we do. In M+, I think it's fine, but in Raid, it's like, we just basically pad cleavers. And like, ethical padding's fine, but if you're progging and stuff, you probably want to be doing boss damage. So from like looking at the alpha like talents and stuff like that, it looks like what they're trying to do is put more power back into like things like Fist of Fury, Rising Sun Kick, a bit more like AoE cleave from those abilities, Slicing Winds. They're trying to put a bit more power into as well, and I think that's a good thing, genuinely. So I'd rather do a bit less AoE, and a bit more boss damage with abilities like Fist of Fury and Spinning Crane Kick and Rising Sun Kick and that jazz, then do very minimal boss damage, but absolutely pump on ad damage bosses. Because one, you're barely doing any boss damage. Two, on bosses where it actually matters and it's more single target, you kind of are bad. Or there are just other specs that just do it better because they actually just, you know, they do boss damage. Bro, this pack speaker doesn't die. Please. Oh, it's gonna hurt. Oh, we killed it just in time. I thought I was about to get just zapped into oblivion. I'm not saying it's cast like 3 erratic rituals, but you ideally only want it to cast 1. Oh, it hurts so bad. Oh, you cheeky bastard. I just popped the spirit on like 0.1% health. I'm not going to send cooldowns here because I know the next pack is quite a big one. So I'm actually going to delay here with a really big Nether Prism and just send out one Storm Earth and Fire. Like, I could have sent here and it'd probably still be valuable with all the trash packs, but I think the next pull's harder. And I'd rather go into it with an 18 stack Nether Prism, all my cooldowns, 20 stack Lightning. I mean, I'm under the assumption it's the hard one I'm thinking it is. Unless it's the one up here. It might just be the one up here, in which case... No, it isn't. Okay, it is the big one. No. Why do I do this? Oh, it's an Arms Warrior. That's interesting. I imagine he would have gone Fury. I guess Arms is still okay. But I thought Fury was the meta spec. So the... Oh, I forget what it's called. They reaping something? Yeah. I mean, it sucks that I died there. But the biggest thing I care about the most is the fact that I lost a Storm Earth and Fire. I lost no Nether Prism stacks, which is... Oh, wait, no, I did. Oh, well. Life. Don't need him.
You built this place on the high temple of correctness and questioned my wrath. It was the only place our plans stood a chance of success.
I require a target.
The rebel brought nothing but destruction. You have no right to this power.
That I can restore the charge.
We did fail, but destroying the dome will only hurt the rest.
Did I see that I can view the talent things now in Alpha? Someone said earlier, I tried to find it. I only had like a couple of minutes before I went into this dungeon, so I haven't properly looked yet. But they said they removed Blurry of Zuin, which is good. So it kind of made no sense to be at the bottom there. So I'll have another little peek after this key. But it's going to make it a lot more easy to actually, you know, read. Like, trying to go through it with just question marks was an experience. I made it work, though. We still have a lot of percent to go through. Are we... I have to imagine we're pulling stuff into the boss. Usually you pull the pack up, one of the packs up there into the boss. I'm gonna get beaten by a feral druid. Yeah, he's gonna grab this. I think he brings it back down with him. I've never done it with the casters, though. Maybe not, actually. I don't think he is. This works, too.
I need to target something.
Still 4%. It's usually these two phase blades he's gonna grab. Make your mind up. We just took the haste buff. Oh, he's over there. That's the armors warrior. Tricked again. Why'd we get the haste buff now, then? What?
Burrowing eruption.
I'm so confused. I don't want to pull this big dude. I don't really know what we're doing.
Burrowing eruption.
I don't know what's going on.
Burrowing charge. Burrowing eruption.
Oh, that's really bad. Oh, fuck me. That's not good. Okay, ah, we got...
Your survival wasn't necessary.
Where are we going?
Still timeable. No, we got 4 minutes. What are you doing? This is still timeable. There's no way you're trying to call... No. You absolute giver-uppers. There's 5 minutes still on the clock. The boss is not going to take us 5 minutes. Pull some trash shit. Like, how can you give up at a moment like this? Absolute... The mentality of it is crazy. That blows my mind. How could you give up at a moment like this? You have 5 minutes still on the clock. The dungeon's almost finished. Just pull the ads and take it to the boss. No? Like, am I crazy? WoW players, dude. Somehow that vote didn't go through, though. I thought you had to... I thought 4 made it valid, and 4 of them voted yes. So,
The wise monk chooses
shit.
their own style, rather than letting
Yeah, fuck it. Kill the boss. Win the game. Ow. No, Magical Marty. He's fallen. I need to be on the other side, but... That's fine. Two minutes on the clock? It's actually going to be tighter than I thought it was going to be. Ow.
Face down. Face down.
We'll get one more set of cooldowns. I'm going to send Nether Prism out now. I won't get Nether Prism sent out again. And then we'll send in 20 seconds if the boss is still alive. But cutting it tight.
Ceremonial dagger. Face down.
Still 30 seconds.
Face down.
Ah, that's free, dude. Imagine trying to give up on this dungeon when it was completely doable. Actually, wait, no. Hold up. Hold up. I spoke too soon. I spoke too soon. Oh my god. I spoke too soon.
So much wasted. All to honor an oath for a dying, treacherous king. But there was always...
Warrior's Death depleted. I mean, you can say that the Warrior's Death depleted it, but we all died like multiple times. I don't like just because that's such a short-sighted reason for the deplete. I would say the deplete ended up mostly being from the fact that once we wiped, we didn't push fast enough because people obviously voted to leave the dungeon, right? So I think that's like maybe not. Maybe I could have saved 8 seconds. Just the lollygagging of abandoning a key, right? Oh, that sucks. I spoke too soon. And they didn't nerf Dance of the Wind. I mean, I'm not complaining about that. It's insanely busted. Like, genuinely, it's so strong. I'm guessing he didn't want the big mole. No, he did not want the big mole. The big mole does some nasty things. About the disband discussion, yeah, I think that honestly was it. Like, obviously, our deaths are all, you know, any single person not dying at one point obviously times the key, but realistically, it probably comes down to the fact that there was the disband attempt and people probably like just sat AFK for even like because it was only 8 seconds, right? A couple of seconds just thinking about disbanding. Oh. All right, let's see if I can find these alpha things. Alpha talent calculator. So this is the normal page for it, but it's changed now. I guess this is the right button, and then we press Monk Omega. Ooh. Oh, I see. They've completely removed Flurry of Zoo, and it's not even... I get it. I get you now. Wait, they removed Zuin's Bond? They have fucking not removed Zuin's Bond. They have! Oh my god, John Blizzard, why? Really? Well, I guess we're a 2-minute spec now. Not that I think Zuin's very strong anymore. We need to, like... I mean, as I said yesterday, our main cooldown is Weapons of Order. Zuin is nowhere near as strong as it will be in this season because we have lost Invoker's Delight, which allowed us to get the mini lust essentially, right? Which was extremely strong and probably one of the strongest parts of actually summoning Zuin was this. This is gone now. And now that you can't even get Zuin's Bond, which makes it 130, Wait, no, that makes no sense, though. I must be missing it. It has to be here, because otherwise then you have to play 2-minute Conduit. Because to cast Celestial Conduit, you have to invoke Zuin. So that... Okay, so they want Conduit to be 2 minutes. They want Windwalker to be 2 minutes then, I guess. In quotation marks, 2 minutes. I have a feeling that Monk is not going to be good in the upcoming season 1. I disagree. I think it's looking promising, actually. I think, like, there's a ton of damage here, especially, like, within Weapons of Order. And how we stack up, like, crit strike and stuff with Fist of Fury. Like, I think a lot of damage is going to come from this cooldown, especially. But it's going to have to be getting to that mindset that Zuin is not the cooldown that it once was. Which is why I'd be surprised even for Shadow Pan if you took it. Like, maybe you'd take it just to amplify the burst window. You have to take it for Conduit. Like, it's non-negotiable. It's like, it makes it activate. But for Shadow Pan, I could see an easy world where you just don't take it. You can see cooldowns and stuff. That's kind of cool. I'm excited for Airborne Rhythm. No, not Airborne Rhythm. Hurricane's Volt is what I mean. The one that increases slicing winds by 100% damage, but makes it cost chi. Because even though it costs chi, with Weapons of Order, you reduce the cost of all chi abilities, right? So that should function like that. Yeah, there's loads of cool stuff here. Most of it's all the same as what I covered yesterday. The main difference is you can see, like, cooldown timers and stuff. Dance of the Wind, still the same, good. Diffuse Magic, still bad. 1 minute 50, so 1 minute 30 for Weapon of Order, 2 charges. Essentially just Storm, Earth, and Fire, right? 2 minute Zuin. Storm Spirit Strikes. I still think this sucks. I think if it mimicked your Fist of Furies, it would be good. But the fact that it mimics only Blackout Kick, Tiger Palm, and Rising Sun Kick, I don't know. It would have to be really... You'd have to have a lot of power in those abilities. If it mimicked Fist of Fury, then maybe. I'm willing to be surprised. But it's the same as the Wisdom of the Wall buff, dude. Like, how strong is he actually going to be? Because from the testing that I heard about the Storm Earth and the Shadowpan one, this Shadowpan fighter that spawns is genuinely just a little panda dude that starts spacking stuff for you. I don't know if they're going to elaborate on that or make it something cooler, but it's just straight up a panda that hits stuff. Flavorful. Jadefire Stomp seems strong. Yeah, at the moment I think from some of the testing that was done as well, Jadefire Stomp's quite good. The single target one, the singularly focused Jade, is good. We've a lot of good talents in the bottom row. I think there's a lot of options and choices that we can go. I think I'd be surprised if there aren't quite a few build paths. Yeah, I think it's looking promising. There's some things that I still am unsure on. Like, Meridian Strikes over here is kind of like, you're never taking Meridian Strikes, but at least they've given you like a way to get around it. Dance of the Chi-Ji no longer increasing spinning crane kicks damage is interesting. Obsidian Spiral's really cool. Because it essentially means that during Weapons of Order, you can use Blackout Kick as your filler ability and give yourself chi. And because you've reduced everything's chi cost as well, it should be easier to manage with just Blackout Kick. So I could see a world where you press Weapons of Order and you don't even Tiger Palm during it. Like, you just use Blackout Kick to generate and then reduce the cooldown, and you're just basically playing Blackout Kick simulator to allow yourself to get more Fists of Fury and Rising Sun kicks off. Some cool ideas here, though. Russian wind kick, still awful. They would have to change this from split damage to make it viable. And if they don't change it from split damage, or they'd have to make the damage extremely high on it. Because the issue with split damage is that it is essentially capped, right? And there's nothing worse than actual true cap damage. So unless the numbers are actually really high. But it's a cool ability because it works with the blackout kick effect, which then allows you to go into like a different sort of build with like the sequence strikes, energy burst. You could even go memories of the monastery, right? A lot of these things work with the blackout kick effect. But if rushing wind kick isn't good, you're probably not taking any of those talents because that's how it synergizes. Yeah, cool ideas here. Oh, I can't believe we depleted that. That's so sad. 17 resilient. Note. Note. What am I doing? I just need to sign up to all of these. My brain froze. Oh, that's one that these are note, which means they want money. Pay me money to deplete this key for you. It's also brew a 6-minute defensive now. Nah, there's no way that's actually how. Nah. I think that number's not correct, right? That's insane. I'm gonna give Blizzard a pass on this one and just say that's not the correct cooldown timing, because otherwise, what? We have a defensive every 6 minutes, 5 minutes 30 if you take the reduction. There's no way that's correct. I'm not even gonna humor it. That's fucking crazy. And the fact that the fact that the current maximum health and reduced damage stays the same. There's no way. No, I refuse to believe that's baseline. Because usually Fort Bruce 4 minutes, right? Or no, it's not 4 minutes. It's 2 minutes. It was 4 minutes in Dragonflight, but then you could reduce it by I think 2 minutes. So like 4 minutes was how like the longest version. Oh shit, I need to go in this one. So yeah, 4 minutes I think was the longest version. I might be incorrect. My memory's pretty bad, but I'm pretty sure it was 4 in Dragonflight. But then you could get the 2-minute reduction on it for 2 or something like that. Maybe 3. But 6 minutes is just crazy, right? Like what? What are we talking about here? If Fort Brew is 6 minutes, it would allow me to press it like 3 times in a dungeon. 4 times in a dungeon. Okay. No, I think that's just an error. Or as you say, it might just be for Brew. Even Brewmaster shouldn't have a 6-minute defensive. I ain't believing what I'm seeing. Anything else cool here? Bounce back, still the same. Nothing else looks different from what I saw yesterday. I'm honestly surprised they didn't do more of our class tree. I guess the class tree tends to have quite a bit of a mix for things that are like PvP as well, right? So when I think about the class tree, I think to myself, when do I ever use, the duration of snare effects is reduced by 30% or whatever? But I think you probably use that for PvP. Maybe. I don't PvP. I don't PvP. Or like Swift Art, right? So essentially the class tree is basically essentially the exact same. Except for the removal of diffuse magic as an actual active defensive. So we're going to go into next tier without having a way to negate magic damage, except for a passive shield that we get, which is not great because it's okay to get a passive magic shield, but it's always better to have a defensive on demand. But from like hearing from other classes and stuff, it sounds like they are pruning a lot of classes' defensives and stuff. They're trying to pull back all the defensives so that we can go to console. You're only allowed as many buttons as there are on a controller. You've got to understand this. And controllers don't have many buttons, right? You've got X, Y, O, and B. Sure, why not? So that's 4 abilities already. Then maybe you can press, left control. Where am I meant to be going for this? Oh, this is... Oh, it's Gambit. Oh, that's fine. I'm here.
Where are we going today, Grandmaster?
Yeah. So there's, like... She can go back to, like, the fact that now Strike of the Windlord and Whirling Dragon Punch is now a choice node, which means in a lot of builds, well, especially in Season 2, right, you always ran Strike and you always ran Whirling Dragon Punch. You can still run it in Season 3 with certain builds and stuff, but that's just one less button that you're going to have guaranteed. Sometimes you might not even take Zuin. Another button. Gone. No diffuse magic. Another button. Gone. Where are all my buttons going? Hey, give them back. This Luxlos bar is going to get awfully small. Where do you find the calculator? I'll link it for you. Is the 4 set out yet? No, I don't think any tier sets have actually been released other than like what they visually look like. But I don't think the Monk visual one is out yet either. They've released... I think they've released like Rogue, Paladin, Warrior, Warlock. The usual crowd. Druid. Some of them look okay. Some of them look... Some of them look interesting. The Warlock one looks really cool. Sometimes I wish I was a Warlock just for the mogs. They always get such nice mogs. What are my thoughts on the Monk changes for Midnight? Oh man, we're gonna proc another 4-hour yap. I suppose like to summarize, I think Storm Earth and Fire's gone, and I think that's a good thing. I think it means that a lot more of our damage is going to actually be like definitive and not based on if we get good clone interactions and stuff like that. So it's more like actual true damage, real damage. I think there's a lot of different build paths and interesting choices we can go. And I think a lot more power has been put into things like Fist of Fury and Rising Sun Kick as well, and taken away from like AoE pad cleave, which is good. Like removing Crackling Jade Lightning, Last Emperor's Capacitor is a good thing because it means that like when you Fist of Fury a boss, right, you're still going to hit the adds around it, which means you're doing boss damage and AoE damage. So as long as that's good damage, we're actually going to be useful. At the moment, a lot of the time in boss fights, a ton of our damage comes from pressing one button called Crackling Jade Lightning and cleaving onto target like adds. And then when you look at actual overall breakdown of damage, we are not really contributing to boss damage, and I think they're trying to fix that a bit. And it needs to be fixed. So it's just an unhealthy playstyle. I'm not a fan of diffuse magic going, but it seems like they're cutting down a lot of defensive, so maybe it'll be okay. I'm terrified of this pull. My Crackling Jade Lightning just disappeared mid-air. Or was that just a visual bug? I'm going to imagine it just disappeared mid-air, because why wouldn't it? Like, I saw the effect go out, and then it just disappeared. So... And I had my clones out at the same time, so... Thoughts?
Cry of MRRGGLLRRGG. Invigorating fish stick. Volatile pufferfish. Invigorating fish stick. Cry of MRRGGLLRRGG. Volatile pufferfish. Cry of MRRGGLLRRGG. Invigorating fish stick. Invigorating fish stick. Cry of MRRGGLLRRGG. I must get close. Cry of MRRGGLLRRGG. I require a target. I cannot take more. Invigorating fish stick. Invigorating fish stick. Golden thread. Title star. Cry of MRRGGLLRRGG.
Ow.
Fish stick. Golden thread.
That really hurt. When do I start doing damage? Next pull? Oh, I'm having to hold cooldowns here for so long, which means I'm gonna overstack so much. Oh, fuck this. Ow.
Invigorating fish stick. Volatile pufferfish. Invigorating fish stick. MRRGGLLRRGG.
Ideally, we don't want this guy smashing again. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Golden thread. Invigorating fish stick. Volatile pufferfish.
I hate cancelling Fist of Fury at the last tick to get an interrupt. It feels so bad, because that's where the most damage comes from.
Invigorating fish stick. Volatile puffer fish. I'm out of range.
My tier set's broken. What does that mean? Doesn't proc. Oh, unlucky. That's alright. Oh, I was worried it was a healer there. It's only a DPS. Don't need it to proc. What is the enhance? Elemental. Unlucky. Oh, that was so bad. It spawned on top of all of us. I probably could have got into that corner, actually. I just wasn't sure. It wasn't worth dying for.
Your grasp, Aldaline. A tenet of your cartel. Power without wisdom leads to ruin, Solir.
See how your wisdom fares against the might of the Titans.
I love this pull. This pull isn't the worst thing ever. Tank dead. GG. Oh my god. At least you have infinite time in this phase. That's nice. You don't need infinite time at this rate. Like, yeah, I just hate this pull so much. This is how the game was meant to be played. Like, it is just... At least it's over now. No! Again. I don't have a CR now. Unlucky.
Titanic crash.
The curse of flesh has burned away. Come back if you need anything.
I'm glad Storm Earth and Fire is going to. I'm struggling to get the DPS out of Shadowpan during this window. I mean, it's going in the sense that the clones are going, right? But outside of that, it's essentially the same thing. Kind of, more or less. But basically, all the new Weapons of Order is its ordered elements, right? Except it doesn't proc on Storm Earth and Fire, it just procs. So you send out your new Weapons of Order, and it doesn't give you a damage buff either, which is worth noting. The damage buff to it comes from the Apex talents with Tiger's Eye Brew. They kind of pair together like that. You gain like crit strike or something like that every 7 seconds, and it stacks up. And when you send out Weapons of Order, then it you gain all that, and then you send it out. Something along those lines. But to be fair, the tier sets from this season are getting semi-integrated into the hero talents for next tier. Although they're a little bit differently. Like, Flurry Strikes is getting changed a lot, and it won't be the same playstyle, which is good. You won't have to, like... It's not like proc your Weapons of Order and then spam Tiger Palms. Flurry Strikes now procs from just pressing Fist of Fury, which is a lot more healthier, allows you to get more active Flurry Strikes out. It means you're not, like, having to do really degenerate Tiger Palm things to make sure your energy and... Because the issue was, is a lot of the time now is you'll end up Tiger Palming over pressing other abilities to get Flurry Strikes out, which means that you end up capping Chi a lot, or overcapping a ton of Chi, not spending out your other abilities because it's just stronger to send out Tiger Palm during the window. But if it procs every time you press Fist of Fury instead, this is a good thing because it means that you're not like being degenerate with energy wasting or Chi wasting, and you're actually sending out a good solid rotation and sending out Flurry Strikes. So I think that's probably the best change to Shadow Pan, is that it means that you're not like doing this. You're not super reliant basically on Tiger Palm. Because Tiger Palm in itself does like 0 damage, right? It's not a very high hitting ability. It's our builder. So all the damage comes from the Flurry Strikes. But then you're losing damage on things like Rising Sun Kick, Fist of Fury, Spinning Crane Kick, because you are weaving Tiger Palms in between every ability, but that means that you're missing out on a lot of other abilities too. Every other one has to be a Tiger Palm. So I think that was a good change. I'm skeptical about the little panda that you send out now with Wisdom of the Wall, which I think is now called Weapons of the Wall or something. It's just going to be just a little dude that hits stuff. Will it be good? Probably not. But it's just another thing that you can't control, I suppose. But one less thing you have to track, like, because right now I mean, you don't have to track your Wisdom of the Wall buffs and stuff like that. Like, it can be useful and helpful at certain times. But now there's none of this. So all these, like, icons that you see that I have with Shadow Pan, like the Flurry Strike, Energy Tracker, how many charges I have and stuff like that, you probably are not going to need this next tier. Like, it'll be super unlikely. Okay, people are just leaving the party. Do I stay? I probably will just stay, because it's a resilient key. Yeah, why not? Because, yeah, Wisdom of the Wall's completely changed, right? So they've changed the top and the bottom hero talent here. They've added a couple other ones in. Against All Odds has also changed, which also is making us do this degenerate gameplay as well of just spamming Tiger Palms because you want to keep up your 20% agility stack. So now they've removed that. It's just a flat 4% agility, which is just essentially passive. It doesn't really change how you play or anything. And then all these ones on the right. So the one at the top here is, although it says under construction, we do know that it's called like Shadow something, like Shadow of the Battlefield or something like that. And essentially what it means is every time you send out Flurry Strikes, they will do shadow damage. So now your Shadow Wisdom of the Wall proc is basically integrated into every Flurry Strike. So once again, it means you don't have to track Shadow, right? It means you're always going to hit with shadow damage to adds around you. It'll be a much weaker version, because obviously right now you don't get Shadow all the time, right? It's during Storm, Earth, and Fire. And it carries the damage. Otherwise, it would be super busted if it was that strong. Because essentially, you just always be doing massive AoE damage with Flurry Strikes, and they probably don't want it to be that powerful if it's just a passive talent node. Always loved Weapons of Power. I didn't play Shadowlands, so I never experienced it. I played Brewmaster. They have Weapons of Order, right? Well, I know they have Weapons of Order. I don't know if it's the same version. But anyone that like didn't play Shadowpan and is like, oh god, we have a whole brand new ability to Storm, Earth, and Fire, I promise you, you've been playing it this entire The War Within. It is genuinely just ordered elements, just renamed, repackaged. So like essentially, you have nothing new to learn. Because as long as you've played with ordered elements at one time or another, which activates when you press Storm, Earth, and Fire, you've played the new Weapons of Order. It just is the same thing without the clones. So at least that, it's not like having to learn a brand new thing. What is going on here? Wait, why am I trapped in this? Why am I trapped in here? Did we not? I thought we abandoned the key. What? Where am I right now? How do I feel about Will and Dragon Punch and Strike of the Windlord being tied to the same node? I like it and I dislike it. I think that I enjoy being able to take both of them. And now you won't get that choice. But I think they're both good at different situations. And as you can see in Season 3, right now, there's, like, situations where you don't take Will and Dragon Punch, you just take Strike of the Windlord, you don't take Strike of the Windlord, you just take Will and Dragon Punch. So I think it's fine, and they've integrated Will and Dragon Punch to now give you Heart of the Jade Serpent. So I think it just kind of depends on how they're scaled, because you're just going to take the one that's stronger for the content. If Strike of the Windlord's stronger for single target, you'll take it. If Will and Dragon Punch is stronger for AoE, you'll take it, right? And they essentially do the same thing, right? They Strike of the Windlord does AoE damage in a cone, Will and Dragon Punch does AoE damage in a circle. I think it's fine. It's essentially just going to come down to which is scaled better. But it is just one more button that they're taking away, I suppose. Although I do think it's cool that they've fully integrated it, right? So now you can go Communion with the Wind with Whirling Dragon Punch, which is interesting. Also cooldown Whirling Dragon Punch now, actually. That looks like it's changed. It has. So Whirling Dragon Punch is a 20-second cooldown currently, but they've increased it to 35 seconds. And then they've reduced Strike. They reduced Strike of the Windlord. Strike of the Windlord's a 40-second cooldown naturally, right? 45, 40. Because then you can reduce it to 10. Reduce it by 10, so it's 30 if you want to with Communion of the Wind. So increased Will and Dragon Punch cooldown, decrease Strike of the Windlord's cooldown, so they're at the same cooldown. Will and Dragon Punch doesn't cost chi, that's good. Strike of the Windlord does, so I guess that's a difference to consider, right? One costs chi, one doesn't. I don't know how much of an impact that's going to actually be. The difference might be that Whirling Dragon Punch deals more damage to at least 5 targets before it starts decreasing, whereas Strike of the Windlord looks like it just hits one target for max damage and then every other target is reduced damage. So that might be the difference maker for AoE. But it looks like Strike of the Windlord looks like it's stronger on single target. It does 100, it does 1000% of your attack power, whilst Whirling Dragon Punch does 3 times 241, which is like 750 odd. All right, this paladin tank just keeps DCing. I'm gonna find another dungeon because like, yeah, is not it, Chief. Oh, go on! I love Priory. Get me in. I love Dawnbreaker. Get me in. What else have we got then? So our kick's still 15 seconds. That's fine. It will last for 6 seconds now. As in, like, if you kick, or 5 seconds even. So if we kick something, it shouldn't be able to cast for 5 seconds. We'll see how true that actually is. But that's the idea anyway. Which is good if that works, because I hate it when you interrupt something and it just insta-casts again. Feels awful. I don't know if there's anything else that they've slightly tweaked here that's just not obvious. They need to buff Summon White Tiger stat. It's so pointless. It does 50% of your attack power. Ah, it's such a bad button. I mean, you don't even press it, but it's just so bad. No, I think the majority of the class tree is the same in terms of cooldowns. The main thing that was like I didn't realize before is that you now have to play 2-minute Zuin, right? And you are gonna have to play 2-minute Conduit then in that sense because you can only press Conduit after you've invoked Zuin, and there's no way to reduce the cooldown timer of Zuin. So Conduit's now a 2-minute spec, which isn't like inherently bad, but it'll feel weird compared to the 1-minute 30 everyone's used to. Try to get into a dungeon simulator. Challenge Windwalker. None of these are really... None of these are really a comp that I fit into. Some of them are. That one is, but... This guy's just AFK. I might just do my own key in this case. Yeah. Fuck it. Let's turn on, Raider IO then. Specs that can choose 2 minutes or 130 are amazing for gear. So depressing getting a 2-minute trinket on Warrior, for example. It's not only that, but flexibility is also really good for dungeons and bosses and all that sort of jazz, right? Like Demencius is a great example of this. Like you can play Windwalker as 2-minute, 1-minute 30, and 130 is so good for Demencius because of how the platforms operate. So 2-minute specs are kind of like they're still good for the fight, but like the platforms like get kind of fucked a little bit and are a lot harder to do if you don't have enough 1-minute 30 specs. So just being able to flexibly do that, and there'll be some fights where 2 minutes are better, right? Cooldowns just line up nicer for how the fight works. But then I suppose we're technically I mean, Conduit will be 2 minutes because the big Conduit cooldown will be 2 minutes, but I guess Shadow Pan you could argue is still 1-minute 30, because even if you take Zuin's not the cooldown that it once was, and then you're essentially playing around Stormmirth, well, no, sorry, you're playing around Weapons of Order, which is 1-minute 30, and then you can always delay Stormmirth and Fire without too much of a loss, because you have charges for it, right? So you can probably still play Shadow Pan 2 minutes or 130, depending on how you want to do it. Maybe delay Zuin every so often to allow yourself to do 1-minute 30. But Conduit kind of sounds a little bit hard stuck in 2 minutes. Yeah, I'm very surprised they removed Zuin's Bond. I mean, they basically neutered Zuin. The poor Tiger, dude. Like, everything that made it, like, really good, they took away. Because the Empowered Tiger's Lightning is, like, the only thing left that actually makes it useful. Like, the actual thing that it attacks and stuff, that's just useless. But the Empowered Tiger's Lightning that actually, you know, deals 8% of the damage that you deal in a period of time is the last thing it's got left. But it's not as good without the actual haste buff, or without it being every 1-minute 30. So that's why I keep saying that I don't think Zuin's our major cooldown anymore. Like, I think Weapons of Order will be the main cooldown that you actually do, and Zuin's just kind of like a afterthought cooldown. Like, I think you'd hold Zuin for Weapons of Order, you wouldn't hold Weapons of Order for Zuin. What is this? 17, so I'm gonna do 3, 400. The flexibility extends further. Yeah, no, exactly. I mean, Windwalker's generally quite flexible as well. The fact that we can go, one-handers, pole arm. Like we have a lot of flexibility that we can go, which is always nice. It's always easier to chase us one weapon than two.
The wise monk chooses their own style, rather than letting popular opinion dictate it.
Well, that's not a very good sign-up list. Where? There's no one there. Oh, that is a massive resto. I didn't even notice. What is this resto druid doing here? They've completed 18s. What are you doing? 18s. What are you doing in here? Alright, so we've got druid, warrior. We probably want a shaman of some sort, even if it's Ellie. Yeah, even if it's Ellie, it's fine, I think. Or I just scrap the shaman altogether and go something else. Tank's a weird one. Probably want to, like, warrior's always the tank I usually grab, and then if not, a bear's always good, but we've got that. So maybe a paladin makes sense. Yeah, paladin tank, and maybe... Maybe rogue. The issue with the rogue is he doesn't have any 17s. And it's always nice to have at least one DPS ranged, I think. My key, my rules. Oh, it's a paladin, but he's only done... He hasn't done a 17. He's done 16 streets, though. Yeah, go on then. Then I'll just relist. Now all the DPS will come flooding in. Ooh, 1 DPS spot for the group. Ooh, get me in. Why aren't the DPS flooding in? I've assembled the squad. The boys. Is this the right dungeon? Yeah, that's the right dungeon. So I've already done a street. So I don't really gain anything from this other than potentially an 18. And the druid left. Of course he left, because why you... My point being, there was no point in him being here. I was very confused. He'd done this key. But, he was here for the vibes. It's fine. I actually prefer shamans in this sort of comp anyway. This dungeon doesn't really have good applications for double unused trinkets, I don't think. So I'm just going to run Nether Prism and Antenna. Like, usually if I'm running double trinket like that, I want big packs constantly. This one does not really have that. There's a lot of bosses, single target bosses, really. So I'd rather just have a nice passive trinket that keeps sustained damage during that. It'll mean weaker burst windows, because it's just a Nether Prism. But it'll mean stronger general damage. Go on then, whatever. This is probably like almost my optimal comp for what I enjoy running. Usually when I go, because obviously physical, Windwalker. If I had to swap anything, I would generally take a warrior tank and maybe like a feral druid DPS, but I'm not too fussy. Like paladins are good, but it's always nice to have the extra verse buff from the druid. Feral, not boomy. Definitely not boomy.
Have I told you the tale of the hosen and the buttercream pie? Perhaps best saved for another time. Farewell.
The root. Oh, I hate this mini boss. No one ever stacks. Jesus Christ. I mean, it's Tazavesh Streets. There's not really much of a route to it.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Halt! Entry is restricted. Surrender your weapons and
5,
follow me.
4,
Surely
3,
we can come
2,
to an
1.
alternate agreement?
There will be no agreement. Lethal force authorized.
Lethal force authorized.
Radiant pulse.
Why is this pack not dying?
Disruption grenade.
Why is this pack still alive? Oh god.
Radiant disruption grenade.
I lasted so long, I've pretty much got double stack Stormwolf and Fireback, which is not great. I'd ideally not be overcapping this.
Hold. Hold.
Oh, that's gonna hurt.
Hold.
What am I dying to? I have a dot on me. Awesome. Another dot on me. Awesome.
Hold. Hold.
Oh, I clipped that. That's bad. Did no damage though? Okay. We'll take it.
Pause.
Ow.
Disruption grenade. Hard light barrier.
Please?
Pause.
Bro, we ain't got any kicks. How are we still alive? I feel like I should have died like 10 times over. Bro, please stop pinging yourself. Actually, no. No, that's good, actually. Keep pinging yourself.
Pause.
I didn't realize I didn't realize the tank was killing himself. I'm gonna give him a marker.
Too far away. Restraint. Disruption grenade. Charged splash. Pause.
Oh.
Compound counterweight. Disruption grenade.
Oh, tanks on death's door. So one thing about paladin tanks I don't like, I swear to god they take the most damage out of any tank. I get less worried looking at a Can he negate this? He must be able to, right? Yeah. Like, I genuinely get less worried looking at Death Knight's health bar than a Paladin's.
Charged splash. Pause. Pause. Charged slash.
Well, this is either going to go really well or really badly. Okay. Bro, please. I was hitting the boss. I didn't even target the Overseer. Please get aggro.
Containing cell.
Oh. Oh my god, I didn't even target the Overseer. I was literally hitting the boss, and the Overseer smacked me. Like, okay. I love M+. How'd the tank die? He just got... I guess he just got double hit, or hit by them. Just dropped. Oh, it's gonna be one of those days. Paladins are a brick wall. Ah, I've been playing with the wrong paladins then. It's the paladin, paladin from the last dungeon, he dropped like loads. Paladin from this one dropped loads. Maybe I just have bad experience with paladins. In my mind, they are not brick walls. They are soft, soft polystyrene walls. I swear to God, they just drop. Yeah, that sucked though, because I was targeting the boss. I did spinning crane kicks. Obviously, I hit the Overseer, but like, that's just unlucky. I guess that it didn't have enough aggro on it at the time. No. It's not the end of the world though. I already had that 17, so. And if I time this 16, which I will, smiley face, I can get another 17 that isn't one I've already completed. So I was never too bothered about timing it. It would be nice, though, to time some keys. It would be nice to time a key today. That is always nice. I swear these people are crazy. He's got all 18s and 2 17s, and he signed up for my 16. There's just no way. I'm not getting baited again. It's just some elaborate scam. What's he trying to sell me? Oh, I'm just a fan. Okay then, sure. I'll take boosting any day of the week. It's just that it was just that we had the resto druid join that also had like tons of gear, and then they just left. I was like, I just assumed they pressed the wrong key. They see it and they're like, they think it's something it's not. We need CR. All right, Nast. You're gonna show me how paladins are a brick wall, yeah? Okay. You show me how OP paladins are. Change my mind. A Mistweaver? I mean, this comp's already fucking all over the place. Maybe. This comp's already just... Who knows what it is. It's only a 16. You don't need a comp for a 16. Just do the key. You'll be alright. You'll be alright. Fuck it, we're taking the Mistweaver. They've proven worthy. And by proven worthy, I mean there's literally no other healer signing up. Oh, they declined, okay. Feels weird, man. I just wanted to say thanks for the videos. Been using your videos to learn Mythic dungeons the past seasons, and compared to how well I'm doing in my runs for the month, the season I play. Hey, no worries, my dude. Hopefully they help. I haven't really posted many Mythic Plus videos this season, to be honest. I posted a lot more last season. Maybe if I start timing some more dungeons, I'll post some more videos, but we are not we're not doing too well on the timing front. Oh, that Echodome's coming back to haunt me. Oh, that Echodome should have just been done. Oh my god. The argument over if we should abandon or not, just... Oh, why? Is this a beggars can't be choosers situation? How did Windwalker look in the expansion? Next expansion or the current one? I imagine the next expansion. The new expansion, simply put, it's got changes, but the changes aren't too much that it's going to be like too much from it. It's like it's similar but different, which is good, I think. They're trying to get away from us having a lot of like damage amplifiers and stuff like that. I guess damage out of control. They basically want your character, I guess, to be doing the damage rather than have like external factors do the damage. Like Storm, Earth, and Fire, right, is the big one and probably like the main example of them doing this, right? Clones did a ton of our damage, but they also came inherently with tons of bugs. So by removing Storm, Earth, and Fire, they have put a lot more power back into our player character itself, which is a good thing. there's still like so much time left on what's being changed and stuff, but there's a lot of exciting talents that I'm pretty interested in. Some that are not so exciting and are just, you know, placeholder talents, but that's just standard, right? They always just add these like placeholder talents. But they've added quite cool things. They've like integrated a fair few of our like previous tier sets and stuff into our talent builds and stuff like that, and they've added some new things. The thing I'm mostly not happy about is maybe Zuin from the Windwalker tree. I think they've neutered Zuin, and it's gonna make it feel like a really bad cooldown. $30 for I-beam. I fucking hate Demon Hunters. Every time I raid, 25 seconds, please. I'm gonna need a 25-second timer to pull this bot. Fucking delete the spec. Get him gone. Get him gone. 25 seconds. That's such bad design as well, that you have to do this. That you have to do this awful setup. No, it's stupid. It sucks to play Demon Hunter, because I've had, like, the Demon Hunter in our guild, whenever I won, like, a, like, timer in between, like, pulls and stuff, or we're discussing stuff, he just has to sit there spamming I-beam, and it just looks really unfun. No downtime allowed. Like, it just looks horrendous.
There will be no agreement. Lethal force authorized.
How? I haven't attacked anything! Swear to God, the security guard just looked at me funny.
Target something first.
That felt awful, because I was like nowhere near the pack for that entire time, but I felt like the interrupt was more important than doing damage. I regret my decision. Ow. Oh my god. I'm what they call a team player. Ideally want to get my orbs. Kind of useful. I like that, putting on the marker. It's a bit better than constantly pinging yourself. Ow. Oh, fuck, I'm dead. Oh. I'm terrified of these overseers. They're gonna one-bot me. I'm dead. Oh, Jesus Christ. Don't you love it when both beam slicers go on you? The one thing I wish they'd change with the beam slicers is being aware of which way they're going to spawn instantly. And maybe you can, and I'm just blind, but like, the guessing game of which angle they're actually going to spawn at is just, I just wing it. I'm just like, oh, well. If it spawns on me, it spawns on me. Don't disarm me. Don't you dare disarm me. Based. Alright, great start. Tank is not dead yet. Always a good start to a dungeon. Survive the double hits. That's what we like to see. Oh, you bitch. Help. Help! I'm dead. I'm dead. It's over. Not me, I'm in cooldowns. Oh, wait, no, that's the wrong mechanic. Ignore me. Yeah, you can hit me, actually. I'm not in cooldowns. Okay, or don't, that's fine. What? Why did this cell go down instantly? Okay, guys. Okay, I see how it is. When it's my jail cell, fucking... my jail cell takes half an hour. When it's the Demon Hunter's jail cell, instant dead. It's like one of those events when you play one of those games where you, like, it remembers things. I will remember this. This. Okay, it was better. It was better. We got there. I'm gonna send one Zoon out here because I don't want to stay on double stacks. I probably should have sent it out a little bit earlier because the boss is gonna die before it drops or finishes. Alright. Not the end of the world, but I'm not sending out Zoon here because I'm playing just Nether Prism. Actually, no, it was a fine Storm and Fire. We got value. How am I deciding to use capacitor stacks? So generally at 20 stacks is always great. Like there's a lot of conditions, which is kind of cringe. So 20 stacks is always like optimal, right? If you can do it 20 stacks, cool. Not always the case, right? Can't. Oh fuck. If you're not at 20 stacks, but you're during a Storm, Earth, and Fire window, for example, then instead what you want to be... Oh, it didn't move. Why not? Hold on, I need to think a little bit here because... Oh, he's going to cast Ancient Dread. I don't even know what the fuck that does. They're dropping like flies. Yeah, so if you're in Storm, Earth, and Fire and you're above 15 or like roughly 15 stacks. Is my haste this slow? I can't even Tiger Palm. That's crazy. Yeah, what was I saying? Something about Storm, Earth, and Fire. Yeah, so if you're like around 15 stacks, right? And you're fighting a pack and you're in Storm, Earth, and Fire, and your Storm, Earth, and Fire is about to drop off, then you want to send it because you want to get the extra buff from Storm, Earth, and Fire. And usually you'll also have your stacks of like 20% agility from against all odds. So roughly around 15 plus is when you want to send it inside Storm, Earth, and Fire. But as well as that, there's a condition of targets, right? Let's say you're you're finishing off a trash pack and there's only 2 targets left and they're about to die, and you're on 20 stacks, right? Your options are send it on the 2 targets or wait for the next pack. In which case, the best thing to do is to wait for the next pack, right? So there are conditions to hold it as well, to get more value. But I think the most important one is the roughly 15 stacker. Like, I'm about to do it here, right? So my Storm, Earth, and Fire is about to drop off, so I'm sending it out now because there's like 5 targets up, and I've got the double buff from against all odds, and I also had a buff from Storm, Earth, and Fire, right? Which is mathematically stronger than sending it out at 20 stacks on the same amount of targets without the Storm, Earth, and Fire and agility buff. So that's a good way of doing it. I think like the 3 conditions, right? So 20 stacks, always ideal. Sometimes hold it if you have more targets coming up within like a reasonable amount of time that you're not going to gain enough stacks that it's not worth it. And 15 plus stacks-ish. Like, I'd even send it at 14, to be honest, if it was about to drop off. Like my Storm, Earth, and Fire was about to drop off. Because you've got the 20% Storm, Earth, and Fire buff, and then you've got the 20% agility buff on top of that. Like, it's just so much extra damage in your Cracked and Jade Lightning that it's better than sending it out the extra damage that it naturally gains from gaining stacks. Good to know before it gets removed. Yeah, you've got about like 4 months of using that information. Use it wisely. Oh, fuck. Oh, I just popped coolies. No. I'm terrified. Oh, I should probably eat these. That'd be smart. Ow. Probably shouldn't do that. Anyone else hate this boss? Just me. I fucking hate this boss. It's not fun. There's no enjoyment to be had on this boss. It's just one of those fights that feels messy for like the sake of being messy. I think if there weren't the orbs, this fight would actually be fun. But the fact that there's like a million orbs at all times. Cool trick is if any of the players in your group actually get Chains of Domination on them, you can remove it. With... I forgot what the ability's called. You can remove it with Tiger's Lust. So I guess Paladins can also remove it with Freedom. Fuck it, I eat orb now. Nom nom nom. This is such a horrible boss fight. Get me out. The rest of this dungeon I actually enjoy. I enjoy all the other boss fights in this dungeon. It's just council fights, man. And it's not actually it's not even the fact it's a council fight, because 2 of the boss's abilities are fine. The root's fine, and the other dude's fine. The suckin's fine. It's just the orbs. They're just tedious. I'm dead.
Lethal force.
Elite gaming right there. Oh my god, I thought I ran into the gate there. Oh yeah, of course. All my orbs spawn after we've killed the trash pack. Yeah, cool. So I get my massive crit buff after everything's dead. Nice. Thank you, Blizzard. That's really cool.
A friend here may be of help in acquiring
Someone
some
open the thing.
signature.
I have no idea how to do that, I'll be honest.
Wait, who is that? Where is Basim?
Open cage. Open cage. Scan filter.
Oh, we're doing this boss first. Okay.
For you, I offer only the finest.
I'm tired of calculating everything and then doing less damage in a 5-button spec. That's a that's kind of a base take right there. Yeah, I mean you're right. Like, there's a lot of actual thinking that goes on with Windwalker at the moment, just because of the tier set and stuff. Like even like both hero talents as well, Conduit requires a lot of actual planning and thinking about how you're actually going to set up your rotation and stuff. And then Storm, Earth, and Fire also requires a lot of planning, thinking about how you're actually going to send out your cooldown. I mean, I'm sure DK also has that. Yeah, you're correct. There's a lot of calculating, specifically in Windwalker at the moment, I think. I enjoy it. It keeps my brain active. It's not all the time though. Like right now, my brain's pretty turned off. It's just when you're basically in cooldowns and stuff, or about to go into them. Windwalker broken. Yeah. That's true. True and real.
Energized slam.
I think the most burst that I've done this season so far was 40 odd million, like sustained AoE burst for a pack, and that was on Priory. It was Priory. It was the big Paladin pack after you pull the first boss. Oh, he's bringing ads. So I think that's the most, probably the best pull. You can also get a really good pull on Halls of Atonement if you go on the left side after the first boss as well. You need, ideally, you pretty much have to hit Shadow first and probably go in with a 20-stack Crackle Jade Lightning to keep the sustained damage up. But we can do some crazy burst, which is really fun to do. It's probably the highlight of playing Shadow Pan, is that you get to see the bigger numbers. I'm playing DK for a week. Every third application, you get an invite with 704 eye level. My monk is 718. Yeah. I mean, that's the one downside of playing any, like, quotation marks off meta spec, right? Is, or not the best specs at the moment. Like, you always got to remember, when you're applying for a group, there's about, 20 other people applying, and they're all playing the right specs. You're doing something wrong. It's not as bad as last season, though. I will admit that. Last season felt so much worse. And it's just because not only that, but we didn't fit into any of the actual comps as well. At least now we fit into some sort of, like, some of the comps to a degree. No! Oh. My boss is bugged. Where are my notes? Where are my notes? Over here. Damage buff. Go, gadget. Damage buff. Oh, feels good, man. 9 times out of 10, I missed that buff. Wait, no, that's a lie. I never missed buffs. My notes. My boss about to drop off. This fucking game, man. Man down. Oh, there are my notes. Cool. At least I get a little haste buff. We'll take it. I never missed the buff, immediately missed the buff. It's hard to see. Oh, we're gonna die. Oh my god. Why did that... Someone pulled some damage out of their ass there and just saved us. I don't know who it was, but you're based. And if it was me, shit. Deserve that compliment. Where's my buff? Whee! Not having the action button bound. Yeah, you are correct. It is pretty bad that I don't have this bound. Would you believe me if I said that I've died multiple times on Plexus Sentinels not having it bound? I'd believe me, because it's true.
You may have my signature, as long as you never again bring destruction to my oasis.
I just don't know what I don't know what bind it to. There's no like nice button. I'd rather just click it, you know. It's right there. No, I do that as well because I'm dodging something and because I click it at the same time, I'll hold W down, and I will literally I would go backwards. Like, this was a common problem I had as I clicked it. Did I change my ways? No. Do mechanic. Oh, I'm stunned. Oh. Bro, this dude over here is bad. This male muncher is like fucking us right now. This male muncher is fucking us so badly. I didn't consent. Is it still timeable? Am I coping if I say yes?
I have many, many wares.
How long? Oh, the hunter went offline. He auto-forward. I don't think it's timeable without a DPS player. Oh, what do I even bind it to? Oh. So I've got too many buttons. What am I not using right now? Shift V. That just sounds criminal. What do we think about B? No, wait, B's important, right? It opens my bag. H? No, that's ping. That's too important. Y? No, that's portal. That's too important. There's not enough buttons in the world, unfortunately. Nah, it just has to be a click, unfortunately. That's just how it be. Alright, thanks, Nast. It was a nice try. We almost got there. We almost got there. We almost got there. Shift space or control space. That is cursed. I refuse. I would rather click. I would rather click. Any good control modifiers available? What do you mean by that? Oh, control. Oh, right. I see what you mean. No, I hate using control. I only use shift. It's my only... Because on shift, my ring finger can actually press stuff. Like, pressing control seems so cursed. Like, what fingers you even press control with? Don't say your pinky, because that is crazy. No, that's fucking crazy. You people don't use your pinky to play this game. I don't believe it. That finger doesn't do anything. Like, if someone cut off both my pinkies tomorrow, I would still be able to play this game at 100% efficiency. That's just crazy to me. I'm not rage baiting. I'm genuine. I don't have any control keybinds because that just feels so unnatural. Yeah, I use my ring finger to press shift. My middle finger is always on W because never stop moving forward. I use pinky to click shift. Oh, that feels horrible. It makes my hand actually feel squeamish. That's not even possible, but it does. Oh no, that actually feels so unnatural. I'm never doing that again. Yeah. Do I use F1 for anything? I do. I use it for mount. I don't use it for any actual combat abilities because to press F1, I'd have to take my finger off of movement abilities. I don't like that. Yeah, my pinky's perma AFK on my keyboard. Yeah, it hangs there in the sky. I'm looking at it right now. It's kind of like just extended up. Not up, actually. That sounds like it's broken. It's just extended forward. It just hangs there, you know? Is that not normal? People use their pinkies for keyboards. I don't believe it. Yeah, control to right. You're gonna hate me for this, but do you know what I press with control to crouch? I use my thumb. What are your thoughts on that one? Like, I genuinely, if I'm playing a FPS game like this, I will use my thumb to press control to crouch. So my hand goes into like this semi-claw position, where my thumb is under my palm. I'm not sending a picture of my hand. I'm disabled and only use my left thumb on my keyboard for all the buttons. I have a shift modifier bound to my mouse. Yeah, I really like mouse. Pretty much all of my buttons are pressed on mouse. Anything from 1 to 6 and then shift 1 to 6. So about 12 of my abilities are all just mouse bound, right? I use my thumb for spacebar. Can we all naturally agree that thumb for spacebar is normal? Are we okay with that? Are we fine on this one? Can we What do you mean no? No, you're joking. What do you use for spacebar? No, now you're rage baiting. No, now you're rage baiting. I'm not falling for it.
Farewell.
Oh. Oh no, I do use it for control. I use it for control as well. That's what I said first. I use my thumb for control. Not in WoW, because I don't have anything keybound to control. But on like FPS shooters and stuff, if I'm crouching, I will use my thumb to press control because it naturally just works like that. Like, because you're not jumping when you're crouching, are you? So my spacebar is doing nothing because you don't press jump and crouch at the same time in games. So jump and then control is thumb, and then if I want to jump, I'll switch it back. Yeah, I bend my thumb under my hand. It is genuinely under my palm if I want to, because my pinky doesn't do anything, right? Middle finger for W, D is my index finger, and then ring finger for A. Then I press shift with my index finger, not my index finger, my ring finger to use any shift abilities, and then that means I cannot strafe left. I suppose that is my handicap, is that I can never actually strafe left when... Because I have no finger to press the A button. So if I ever want to turn left... It's like Zoolander. You watch Zoolander? When he's like, he can't turn a certain direction. It's kind of like that. So if I ever want to turn left when I'm using a shift ability, I have to turn my character, I suppose. I can't ever, like, strafe. I was doing a Dragon Claw for... Well, I never thought about it, but now that everybody's saying that they don't do it like that, now it makes me feel like it might not be normal. I'm starting to get worried here. There gotta be some other clawers in the world, right? Like... I sound like a backwards human. That's so fucked up. Oh, it's so funny. I never realized this was not normal. Oh, my pinky feels so... Like, I'm pressing control with it. Does it not just feel weak? Oh, I guess you guys all have strong pinkies because you use them all the time to press shift and control, right? My pinky just feels weak. It's not got the muscle there to... I've not built up muscle to use this, so... Damn. Dude, my pinky's buffed as fuck. Oh my god. I use the pinky bone to press control. Thought it was common. No, it does sound like it's common, Narky. It sounds like everybody does that. I just don't. I don't think I've ever done that. It just feels super unnatural. I guess I learned how to use the keyboard wrong. Oh well, life. Yeah, Zoolander can't turn left. Yeah, I know exactly. I'm not pinky camming. This is it. You just wouldn't. It would just do nothing. It just hangs there. It's like, you know when British people drink a cup of tea and they've got their pinky extended around, like they're holding the cup and the pinky's out. It's just like that. Like my pinky's always just extended, like I'm holding a cup of tea or something. No, there's no pinky cam. This is not a thing. I'm gonna Google. Is it normal to press control with your index finger? Oh shit. No, it's not the standard or most comfortable. Well, it is the most comfortable way because I do it and I'm comfortable. It can be inefficient and potentially lead to strain. Oh my god, this is news to me. Do y'all seriously use control with your pinky? Okay, based Reddit comment here. How the hell do y'all use this button with your pinky? It feels so damn uncomfortable. This guy gets it. This guy, this is my old account. I posted this 4 years ago. Yeah, no, that's kind of based. AI overview said I'm a 1%er. I am, true. Using your thumb to press control is not a standard practice as well. No, that one I can, okay, that one I can like fully agree with because that is just not normal. I think if I had control keybinds, I probably wouldn't. No, that's a lie. I would. I'm just like thinking about it now, like I'm pretending to do my rotation on my keyboard, and if I use control instead of shift, I would press it control with my thumb, so I would not be able to jump. My pinky's... I'm not going to get arthritis in my pinky. It's funny, though. Oh, no, this is just making me laugh. I didn't realize this was, like, a weird thing. I never thought about this in my entire life. But, like, I genuinely would just use my thumb on my control if I was, like... Let's say I was, like... If all my shift buttons weren't shift and I use control instead, I wouldn't use my index finger to then go down to control, because that is unnatural. That's too far away. So I would use my thumb. And then, hear me out, but if I had to jump, I'd then move my index finger from D to spacebar. And you might think I'm rage baiting, but I'm really not. This is just me thinking it out of how I'd actually play the game. Like, if I was using control as a keybind. Thumb on control, index would jump. I'm doing it right now. You can't see it, but you just gotta imagine it. I mean, it feels normal to me. The knockback on the anima robot is what annoys me the most. James Rolo. I reckon you're about half an hour behind on the video. He doesn't even know what's going on in this pinky conversation right now. But true, the knockback on the anima robot is the most annoying part. And collecting the orbs isn't so bad, but it's the knockback every time it spawns orbs, so you can't get to them nicely. If there was no knockback and it just... Well, I guess you just stand on it, though, because that would kind of defeat the point, wouldn't it? The discussion will be gone at midnight. No need for shift or control anymore. Oh. See, it's funny. It's a funny comment with a funny little Kappa face, but it's kind of not far off. Like, it's not like... Okay, it's a little bit far off, but it's not like it's wrong. That's kind of the direction the game's going. I've heard a lot of speculation that it's because Blizzard are probably going to try bring this game out for, like, consoles, which sounds like it's probably right? Like they are probably going to end up bringing out for consoles. It's on the Game Pass and stuff like that, right? Like, why would it be on the Game Pass? Come on. But if you're on the console, there's only so many things you can press, right? So it does make sense. I enjoy my button bloat though. I don't even think this is button bloat. I think DPS don't like. I've been playing like quite a few tanks at the moment, being like leveling. I play Brewmaster a fair bit. I've been leveling a Feral Druid, but I'm playing it as Guardian. There's like 10 million buttons that these tanks have. Like if any specs need button nerfs, it's tanks. There are too many. I genuinely don't have the keybinds for it. Also, thanks for the Prime Meat with Cheese Skin. Appreciate it.
Perhaps best saved for another time.
With what I'm hearing, I can only assume you play with your keyboard upside down. No. No. Although, now you mention it. No, that'd be really hard. Actually, that'd be insane. No, even I couldn't pull that one off. My Guardian uses scroll wheel down and shift 1 and not any more binds. What? What do you mean? I was like leveling it the other day. I'll show you. I'll show you my keybinds. It's actually insane. I've got buttons that I don't even have bound because I just don't know what to put them on. Like, there's so much thinking that I have to do as a druid, right? Because druid is a spec that I said I'd never play because I didn't like the class fantasy. I've changed my mind. It's actually kind of fun to shapeshift into all these forms. Like, I genuinely enjoy shapeshifting into these forms now because I realize it's not as bad as I thought it was. But there's like 500 buttons. There's no way you can play it with just like 5 keybinds. It's genuinely not possible. Like, and there's still more buttons to come. Like, what'd you do? All you need is Thrash and Iron Foot. Wrong. Right? You've got Frenzied Regeneration. You've got Survival Instincts. Iron Fur. Nature's Vigil for some fucking reason. I don't even know when I'm going to use this. Bark Skin. Interrupt. Regrowth, because sometimes you've got to heal. Wild Charge. Vortex. Typhoon. Symbiotic Relationship. Entangling Roots. Ignore Maim. Dash. Stampeding Roar. Then I've got to turn into a cat sometimes. Then I've got to prowl sometimes. Oh my god. Taunt. Swipe. Mangle. There's like 50,000 buttons for this, and we're not done yet. And I haven't even keybound 3 of them. Like, where do I put Remove Corruption or Innovate or... It's just... It's too many. Tanks need nerfing. Squish it. Remove this shit over here. Remove Soothe and these ones that are not keybound, and then we're fine. Try Brew Monk. No, I play Brew Monk. I actually have all my keybinds set up for Brew Monk. It's not as bad as this. Because I've managed to actually put all my buttons onto my bars. But I have a few keybinds. To be fair, I have a few. Okay, I'm being a bit over the top. I still have G, Shift 2, Shift 3, and Shift Q. But the issue is these are all DPS cooldowns. I'm not putting Soothe on like these buttons, for instance, I suppose. So I guess it's a problem of my own making because I refuse to put buttons like, because all my characters have to have the same, in quotation marks, roughly the same sort of abilities on buttons. Otherwise, I get confused when learning it. So, like, if my DPS rotation isn't on certain buttons, I'm like, fuck, I don't know what's going on. I can't, like it's why, like, interrupt's always an R, right? Defense is always C, V, Shift V, E. Utility abilities are always in the top right here with these ones, you know? But then if I have too many utility abilities, it's over. No, I have nothing to press anymore. Yeah. Am I concerned with Windwalker losing the damage bonus on Chi-Chi procs in Midnight? I don't think so. I think they're buffing... Well, they're buffing Spinning Crane Kick by 80% baseline. So I guess if you think about it in that way, it's a 120% nerf to Spinning Crane Kick. When it's in Chi-Chi, but natural Spinning Crane Kick gains a DPS increase. So it probably, throughout like a dungeon, it probably balances itself out pretty nicely. And it's actually not too bad. Because you'll be spamming Spinning Crane Kicks anyways, like your fill ability, more than likely. Or maybe not. Maybe you need to Rising Sun Kick more. It really depends on the build you go, because there's so many different builds that are potentially there. With like Splash Damage Rising Sun Kick, for instance. Who knows how powerful that will be. I think the one thing it might impact is maybe single target, and it really just depends on if Spinning Crane Kick's damage is enough for you to actually go into Chi-Chi, if that kind of makes sense. Oh, I got rid of my talent tree. One sec. This one, right? So, yeah, as you say, it doesn't increase the damage anymore, but it does make it free. So that's always the benefit, right? So So standard spinning crane kick is getting a damage increase, which is nice. So that just means natty spinning crane kicks do more damage. So I think that's actually it's probably a net positive. Because there's still quite a few times in AoE where you spinning crane kick without Chi-Ji. So it's probably a little bit of a nerf overall, but it will balance out not too badly. I think the big one's gonna be single target, right? Because maybe there's a world now where you actually just you don't run this. Maybe it's not strong enough. But then the issue is to get to these like, I mean, to be honest, I wouldn't even be surprised if there's a world where Storm Spirit Strikes is dog. You don't run this because the guy sucks. You're in single target, so you're not running Shadowboxing Treads, so you just don't run Dance of the Chi-Ji. Rushing Wind Kick makes no sense, and like a bunch of these talents make no sense, so you just go down the middle and then left. Basically, I think even if it's not, I think it'll be fine in AoE, and you'll still always run Chi-Ji. I'd be extremely surprised if you don't. But in single target, it's not going to matter. Like, there's still a route you can go down if you run it, and you'd only send it when it's like free, right? But if you don't run it in single target, there's still plenty of other good talents, and you can get down this tree in a way that Chi-Ji doesn't block you from doing. The only thing you'd be blocked from getting to would be Rushing Wind Kick, but as of right now, this is kind of a bad ability because it's split damage, and it would suck even more in single target because the damages would only be increased by 6% instead of 30. So essentially, this would suck even more because it's just doing no damage at all. So you wouldn't probably even want this in single target. So I don't think it's like an issue, and I don't think it will change anything rotationally. I still think spinning crane kick glows, press it, let it stack to 2. I completely missed there's a 8% flat buff to it. Oh yeah, no, I missed it as well yesterday. They buffed Fist of Fury as well, and I want to say Rising Sun Kick. And that's what I mean, like putting more power into our actual like baseline abilities, right? They want Fist of Fury to be your main rotational damage dealer, the kind of cornerstone of the entire build, which I think they've been leading to quite a bit with Conduit at the moment, with Fist of Fury kind of carrying Conduit damage. It's less so with Shadowpan, where Crackling Jade Lightning and Flurry Strikes, and even Spinning Crane Kick to a degree can outdamage Fists a lot of the time. Whereas with Conduit, Fist tends to always be at the top, right? And it makes sense because of the cooldown reduction, damage it does, and constant casts. But with the removal of things like Flurry Strikes will get nerfed, just naturally, Flurry Strikes will get nerfed in their damage because of how passive they want it to be. No Wisdom of the Wall rolling buffs and stuff like that. Crackling Jade Lightning's nerfed because it's been removed. And then Spinning Crane Kick probably would still compete, but then Fist of Fury is going to do a lot more damage for Shadowpan, or make up more of the majority of the damage, if that makes sense. And then Fist of Fury also operates really strongly with Tiger Eye Brew, right? And the fact that you have a chance equal to your crit strike to increase the damage of your Fist of Fury by 15% each time it deals damage. Like, that's kind of strong. It's even stronger if it's every tick, which I interpret it as. I don't interpret it as... Actually, it's not as strong, actually. That makes sense. But I think it's going to be per tick, 15% each tick rather than the whole cast. So technically not as strong, but still really strong, right? If you have high crit strike, which you're going to get from Tiger's Eye Brew and Tiger Brew itself, well, this gives you crit damage, so your crit damage is going to do more. Basically, it all synergizes to make Fist of Fury a heavy hitter. You reduce its cooldown with Weapons of Order to keep sending out Fist of Fury. You can take things like Harmonic Combo to reduce the chi cost of Fist of Fury. However, the damage does get reduced, which is a weird caveat. It's interesting. Like, I still think this is going to be good. Even though it's like the strangest thing, right? To have a talent that takes damage away from you. Like, when you think about that, like, when do you ever have a talent that reduces the damage you do? It feels very... It's interesting. I'm not, like, opposed to it. I think the chi cost might be good enough that you run it, because then Fist of Fury essentially, during Weapons of Order, becomes a 1 chi ability outside 2 chi, which means energy management's going to be really good, resource management really good, and you can almost send it every single time it's up because it costs peanuts. And then something like Crashing Fists might be really good as well, because it increases the duration of Fist of Fury, which means that you're going to have more of these 15% or like 15% damage amps of Fists ticks damage every time you fists. I mean, like, there's loads of things that we're able to play around with here and mess about with and synergize well together. I think there's a lot of synergy in this kit, which I like. And it's not just like there's one build path that synergizes. there's a lot of different routes that synergize together. Because you have this whole blackout kick combo that synergizes with Rushing Jade Wind, which is really cool. You have like more of an AoE focused one by potentially going things like, you know, Dance of the Chi-Ji down into Skyfire Heal, which gives you like a cool way of interacting with like AoE. Weapons of Order just operates with everything together. There's even a world where potentially Jade Firestomp might be good for single target or something like that. Yeah, I mean, I'm really excited for Hurricane's Volt. I think increasing Slicing Winds damage is going to be really cool, even at a chi cost. I think the chi cost is absolutely minimal because, for instance, let's say you're reducing the amount of cost or Fist of Fury's cost of chi, well, then you've essentially saved chi that you can put into Slicing Winds. Then you reduce the cost of both of these chi during a Weapon of Order. You're kind of in a good spot, right? I think it's exciting. I think there's a lot that it has a lot of potential, and I think there's a lot of different synergies with it. It'll just be interesting to see how they adapt it and build on it. But nothing new in the sense that there's no new abilities or anything like that. Except for, I guess, Weapons of Order is a new ability, but it's not. It's really not a new ability. It's Storm, Earth, and Fire without the clones. It's a good way of thinking of it. So, like, there's a lot of change, but there's nothing like there's no real buttons that have been added to press. In fact, buttons have just been removed, so it'll feel different. It'll feel like you've lost stuff, but the playstyle will be quite different. So I think that's fine. It'll be similar but different, which is pretty vague, but it's like my best way of describing it because it will be similar, but there are lots of different routes. And what I like the most about Windwalker this tier or this expansion in general, maybe not season 1, it was always how many different build paths you can go, right? That was always exciting. Like, you could go Lightning Conduit, Slicing Winds Conduit, Lightning Shadow Pan, Slicing Winds Shadow Pan, maybe fucking both of them combined into you know? You could go so many different builds. As long as you're able to keep doing that, that'd be cool, right? Like, maybe there's one build that really focuses on AoE down this side of the tree, but doesn't synergize well with this side of the tree. But then you can go a Slicing Winds variant that doesn't really synergize with this side, but works really well. That's what I want the most, I think, for Windwalker. It's just having diversity. There's nothing worse, I think, than having one build for Mythic Plus, one build for Raid. Like, I played Assassination Rogue quite a bit. It has one build for every single boss, essentially. Maybe not this tier, I didn't play it that much, but in Undermine, every boss was the exact same build, except for one boss. Windwalker, you had, even if it's like 1 or 2 talents, right, it still kind of changes the playstyle because they tend to be like cap node talents at the bottom that actually change how you're playing it a little bit. Assassination Rogue, the exact same rotation, the exact same build for every single boss except for like one. It was just like, what is going on here? It was so brain dead. Whereas I felt like Windwalker had loads of options and you can mess around. So hopefully they keep that mantra. But we'll see. It's such early days, right? I need them to let me into the alpha. That'd be kind of cool, wouldn't it? How long have I got my ticket? It's gone up. It said 3 days earlier. Now it's 4 days, 2 hours. That's kind of cringe. That makes me feel a lot better. I only saw the pruning, so I felt like Windwalker was getting gutted with Chi damage and crackling. No, we're not. No, not gutted at all. I wouldn't worry about getting gutted. I think there's still a bunch of stuff that they need to tweak or change because there's a bunch of these talents. Like the biggest one, the one is Rushing Wind Kick. The entire, like, the one build I talked about, the one with Blackout Kick, the Blackout Kick effect build that gives you Rushing Wind Kick, it completely hinges on Rushing Wind Kick being a good talent. If it's not a good talent, you'd never take Memory of the Monastery. You never take Secret Strikes, right? Why would you take, like, Energy Burst, really, when you could take Inner Peace? Like, it basically kills, like, 4 talents instantly on arrival. And it's because it's split damage, and split damage is true capped damage, right? Like, a lot of people tend to associate Windwalker with target capping, when, in quotation marks, we don't actually have target capping. A lot of our abilities do full damage to 5 targets and then reduce beyond that. It's why we can hit things like 40 million damage and stuff, or, you know, on big pools, 30 millions. We can actually do damage on big packs, because although it's reduced damage, it's still damage. A split damage is pure hard stuck, you know, no damage. Like, the max number is the max number, and it cannot get higher after 5 targets. Which makes this bad, right? Unless you're pulling 5 packs 5 mob packs per dungeon every trash pack. Like, this doesn't work. And the fact with the Blackout Kick build is you're proccing this all the time to get this AoE ability that doesn't really actually feel AoE. And it's awful in single target. I think this should be it should just be the same criteria that they give to every other Windwalker AoE ability, right? It is reduced beyond 5 targets. It's how Spinning Crane Kick works. It's how Fist of Fury works. It's how Whirling Dragon Punch works. It's not how Strike works. Strike's reduced after 1 target, I'm pretty sure. But like the majority of AoE abilities, they work like that, and that's how Windwalker tends to work. But the split damage is not cool. It's similar to Conduit, where Conduit is also in itself split damage. The difference is that Conduit does decent damage regardless, but it's not really the damage of the Conduit that makes Conduit good, right? It's the effects of the Heart of the Jade Serpent that it procs that makes Conduit good. Like, sure, this burst is good. It would be better if this was uncapped, because it means it would do more damage in AoE. But it's the exact same conditioning, right? Celestial Conduit will only hit 5 targets. Like, it will max up to the max damage. It will be at 5 targets, and then it will do split damage consistently across all targets. If that makes sense. So a true hard capped actual ability, which is okay in this situation. But when you're like trying to make it a cornerstone ability that fundamentally like changes how you play and how you're actually doing things, it doesn't really make sense. If they want this to be like an AoE ability, they're doing it wrong. Just make it reduced. Even if you nerf the damage, you proc this so often from the sounds of it. It's every time you consume Blackout Kick, right? You have a 40% chance, which is a higher chance in general. And if you're proccing a Blackout Kick pretty much like all the time, from summoning it from like Memory of the Monastery and just natty, it's probably good enough. But yeah, so this is the one thing I'm probably worried about the most. And Zuin, they've killed this talent, but you still have to play it. Unlucky. They haven't killed it, but it's so much weaker, and you have to play it, which feels bad. I think Shadowpan will drop this if it's not changed, but Conduit is locked into it. Slicing Wind's here to stay. You have to play Slicing Winds with Conduit as well. They've integrated the tier set. So Conduit's got some forced talents, which is never nice to have. But I think it's okay because at least it's not brand new, and at least we had a tier to get used to it. Yeah. Overall, I think yeah, I'm happy with these hero talents and stuff. I just want to try it all out. But we'll have to see if John Blizzard gives me an alpha pass. I need to find a contact at Blizzard. I need to get in with Ian, slip him some money under the desk or some shit. Is this alpha? No, I don't have alpha. I mean, this talent tree itself is alpha. This is the alpha talent tree that I'm looking at right now. But I can't actually play the game in alpha. I can only play retail and deplete Mythic Plus keys. Yeah, it's a cool talent tree. I think the biggest concern I've seen at the moment from like theory crafters trying to work out talent builds and stuff at the moment is that there's quite a lot of weaker talents, I think, in this set over here, and a lot of like good ones at the bottom. But it's hard to, you can't get all the bottom ones. I'm pretty sure that's like they're like trying to work out paths and stuff at the moment, which is always exciting, right? I enjoy watching them like work out like what sort of paths like look like they're good and how to get down to the certain talents you want, right? Like what do you have to skip to make it work. But it's early days. This is like their first build, right? They could always like change certain things, move talents around, but I wouldn't be surprised if not a lot changes. It seems I think that they wouldn't like change positionings of talents and stuff like that unless something was absolutely egregiously bad. I think it's just hopefully they do certain tuning and stuff and change how they work. Like if I could actually just change one thing, it would be make rushing wind kick not do split damage and actually do enough damage to be good enough, because then it opens up a brand new build. Actually, can I choose two things? Save Zuin. Save my boy. It's a tough one. It just he's got nothing attached to him anymore. What's the point? Bin him. Put him in the trash. No pets. Would really feel bad if the splash rising sun kick damage out damages rising wind kick and high target count, causing your talent choice to be a DPS. Yeah, no, exactly. That's a great point, right? You have two rising sun kick like affecting talents, And it looks like they want both. They're both AoE related, right? They want you to use them both in AoE. Maybe not combined, but at least like here and there. But if this one is useless at higher target cap, like higher target amounts, then you're never going to run it. You'd always just run the Skyfire heal. And there's a lot of like suggestions that they want you to be using Rising Sun Kick a lot more with how Weapons of Order works. A bunch of the changes, obviously, with new Rising Sun Kicks and how Zun's battle gear and stuff works like that. Like the Rising Sun Kick seems like a proper rotational damage, and it seems like they want you to actually use it in AoE. Well, then make the make the AoE version better, yeah? Can we? Like, I don't even know how well Skyfire heal does, right? But if Rising Sun Kick does a bunch of damage and you're on 20 targets and 10% of that damage is more than what the split damage of Rushing Wind Kick is, then you're just never going to take Rushing Wind Kick. And you've also got to take into account that you've got to get to Rushing Wind Kick in the first place, but it's probably easier to get to Skyfire heal because you're always going to be taking strike down this path here, down this way to an extent, whereas you've got to take a whole bunch of different talents to get to Rushing Wind Kick, which aren't always like confirmed talents, right? Like potentially you don't actually want things like Crane Vortex. Yeah, it's a lot of like it's all like theory and stuff and thinking about it. Just run the Sims, bro. Who cares? Just let the theory crafters sim it and tell me what to play. That's a base take. It's exciting. It'd just be cool to play it. If not alpha, the beta at least. But yeah, that's gonna be it for me today. I'm gonna go do birthday things now. So thank you for watching. Didn't complete any dungeons, pretty typical. That's why I make all of my fucking YouTube thumbnails now about me depleting keys, because it's just genuinely true. I love this game so much. Oh my god. I don't know when I'll next stream, but I'll probably try to get the Soul Hunters boss guide out tomorrow. And then it's just 2 more after that. So the last 2. Yeah. Thanks for watching. Hopefully catch you next time. Have a lovely weekend. Bye bye. Goodbye.